Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new Let's Play. It's Crusader Kings 2, with some of the DLCs, and by some, I mean not including the Sunset, the Sunset DLC, which is the Aztec invasion of Europe. I bring to you this nice little setup of the camera panning over what is known as the Duchy of Cornwall, which is what we're going to be playing as, or at least starting out as. Who knows what, where we'll end up at, but hopefully somewhere high up than just Duke, or at least the petty kings. So yeah, I bring to you a kind of a role-playing style-ish. Is that going to be a lot of role-playing? It's just going to be kind of a history in what's going to happen to kind of build up to the end goal, and maybe even beyond just the end goal. Now, the story is kind of the general setup of what Britannia was, or even is, in the current state of affairs. So in 47 AD, the Roman Empire decides to invade Britannia and essentially annex it into the empire. And I can go even beyond that, prior to that, in which Julius Caesar is the one who kind of makes contact with the British tribes and makes some clients. But just for shit's sakes, we'll just go with 47 AD, in which is the initial invasion of Britannia. And Britannia would be annexed into the Roman Empire, minus Scotland and Ireland, and up till 410 AD, in which the last remaining Roman legions would leave Britannia, and the remaining, I guess, Duke level, or just in cities, will have to fend for themselves. So, what happens? Well, what happened to the Roman Empire is essentially it collapsed around 453, 476, 480. Take your pick. That's where historians will kind of mark their territories of when the empire fell. Now, we fast forward about 400 years later. Who knows of the census of Romans that remained throughout Western Europe, or that would even call themselves Romans, even if they did. The only real remaining source of Romans was either being in the city of Rome itself, or being in the Byzantine Empire, however you wish to pronounce it. The Eastern Roman Empire would only kind of refer themselves as Romans in the context of it. Now, so like I said, who knows of the remaining people that call themselves Romans in the West? We can debate on if they did, whether they actually assimilated within the population eventually, and most cases not, and that's what normally happened. With kind of the exception of a few things. So, for example, the culture of the Bretons. The Breton is, as I've found out, and I could be wrong by the sources that I've looked at, were kind of a mixture of Roman and Celtic cultures, kind of minting and bending and molding into each other. And we have the Breton, and even the Welsh culture, I guess you could even consider it kind of a Roman and Celtic combination. So I can make the argument, just for this Let's Play's sake, that the Romans kind of existed still, and so gotta pronounce my words correctly. This is where the Let's Play kind of takes off. So right here we have Constantine of Cornwall. He is a duke level. He is from the House of Augustus. he has considered himself Roman. Now, we could argue kind of the texture, the textbooks, things like that. Not the textbooks, but the books that they had, the information, the sources that they could have had, in which he could have thought, I may have an idea of bringing the tribes together in Britain, in Britannia, forming a kind of a union, but as me as being a leader of a Roman Britannia. And so this is where his dream kind of comes to fruition. So the previous Duke is Dumnarth, who is technically the heir. He's the original ruler of Cornwall. Now, Constantine kind of rose up through the ranks, and since Dumnarth doesn't have much diplomacy and his stewardship sucks too, is outmatched and eventually his title is usurped by kind of a popular uprising, you could say. And so Constantine, who has a very nice diplomacy and a very awesome stewardship and even a pretty good marshal, took that and took the reins of the petty kingdom of Cornwall. And so Cornwall, in Devon, has a kind of a Roman history to it. Kind of the traditions kind of remain, as opposed to what happened in Wessex, in which a lot of the Anglo-Saxons would tear down the old Roman buildings of either of economic importance or even cultural importance, and to have them replaced. So Constantine decides to kind of have this dream of trying to form a union with the Roman culture ahead, going back in time, essentially, and kind of reliving that dream. So that's where his Roman culture comes in, and of course, by this time, Britain was already in a very heavy Catholic, even just Christian in general, of religion. So that's why I kept him Catholic. So that's pretty much my background of what this character is going to be. But we got some interesting enemies we have to face. Not to mention a very threatening pagan religion of the Norse, in which really has some devastating effects. As you can see there, just from Jorvik alone, who can levy 7,000 troops. Fleet can navigate major rivers. Blah, 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 blah. And so that's kind of the details of the Norse religion. All right. Can perform coastal raids, so we gotta watch out for the coastal raids, especially the coastal raids, because that will be a deadly thing for us if we get caught up in that. So so he's Anglo-Saxon. Of course, the other one's right up here in a Grail, and I think he's the more threatening. Yeah, he can levy 16,000. Wow. Where is he at? He's got that. He's also got that territory, okay. And of course he's got the Petty Kingdom, both combined. And of course he's got some territory in Ireland. And of course, Man. I think that's the Isle of Man, right? No, that's just part of Scotland. Isle of Man is down here. Or something like that. Oh man, I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of comments about that. It's like, no, it's over here. And I'm sure I'll find out eventually, so you don't have to point it out right away. So he's only got that. And that's amazing that they can levy so many troops, though. That's just ridiculous. Anyway, let's get going. So the first thing I want to do is have him get married. So let's look at potential wives. As soon as okay, we'll get that. So there's not many. Excuse me. There's not that many females in the Great Britain area of Ireland, Scotland, and what is modern day England, and Wales. Can't forget about Wales. So the only female here, okay, so is an Irish woman, Irish girl, I should say. So we got a couple of Welsh females, and then we also got one Anglo-Saxon woman. Yes, that's all the women in Ireland and Great Britain itself. Nowhere else. And of course, I could marry Judith of West Francia. Now that would get me stuck in an alliance with the West Franks, or West Francia, and I really want to avoid the civil wars that they'll have. And I know they're going to have civil wars constantly, and they're going to constantly bring me in, but they are also a strong ally. They could be a strong ally if they avoid the civil wars. If they did. Of course, I could marry her, but of course she's 35, and I want to marry a young woman. Can I marry her? No, I cannot. She needs married. Okay, King of Navarre. Okay, so I want to try to avoid a woman that's over 30, because I think it's was age 46 in which they become infertile. I think it's about that, you know, minus some special events. So I want to try to avoid that. Where are you from? Oh, you're Norse. Really? Wait, Basil the First married a Norse wife? Really? Wow, learn something new every day. Huh. I knew about Basil the First being the Bulgar Slayer and all that. I just didn't know he married a neurotic woman. Huh. Interesting. Okay, cool. Okay, I could. Okay, she's only 4 years old. The oldest is 4. Wow, all your siblings are dead? Oh, because, okay, well, I'll bet yours. Yeah, so that's right, you're, okay. Gotta pay attention to that. Gotta pay attention to the details. I don't want to marry any woman that's chaste. Let's move on a little bit. Have kind of a good start. There we go. Move today. So I married. Okay, I could do that all the way in Bulgaria. I don't think they'll call me in, but I'm not going to hold my breath. I'm sure they would. But she's got some good trait. Well, at least she got the intrigue trait, and she's got the stewardship. Now, give me half added to that. So I technically would have plus 17 plus 5, and of course 34 plus 6. So I guess I would have 40 stewardship overall, which isn't bad. But she's got diplomacy. Ooh, that's a lot of diplomacy. But she's a 13 clerk, which is one shy of Midas touch. Ooh, this is really tempting. But also, I want to try to marry maybe a Welsh. Maybe that would be a good idea to go by. Because if I did that, okay, I can't. It's like no. Because if I did that, then B, really? You really don't like me, do you? Okay, that's fine. So I guess I should. Marry a kid in line with the Byzantines or something. That wouldn't be a bad idea either. Okay, so let's do that. I guess I'll marry with the Franks. Excuse me, wow. I'm coughing like crazy. It's probably because I've been talking a lot, too. Alright. So... Well, I can't marry with the gold. I'll get 1 gold piece. I'll just get the prestige. That's fine. Alright, so I got to fulfill the get married ambition. That's awesome. So now I'll have the ambition to have a son, because son's very important to have. Now let's also get some of the cabinet ready, council. He's got the, okay, so he's got the potential to inherit. He's a dangerous person. Ah, okay. So he's got some lineage then. He's got real lineage. Okay, so I gotta deal with that soon. Kind of get him killed off, I guess, would be a great way to do it. So let's have you do some research text. I should actually move the capital here, and there's going to be a reason why as soon as I get this done. Let's fabricate claim on Ireland there, that little territory of Ormond, I think. Excuse me, wow. Whew. Alright, hopefully that little drink of water helped. Let's see, research military tech in Cornwall. And then build a, actually, scheme in Devon. And then also, actually, let me check my vassals real quick. Okay, so the mayor and the bishop of Exeter, okay. And so let's do that. Let's, actually, you know what? Let's improve cultural tech. I'll do everything else separately. So, I'll have you. Hello to you too, sir. There you go. And then also you. So I'll send you a gift. Oh, you're expensive. Wow. Okay. I'll just send you that. Nope. Okay. That's fine then. It's better. It's not as bad. Alright, so hopefully I can get her to get pregnant. That'd be awesome. And it looks like she could be a knock-up. Or a knockout. Hopefully. That'd be awesome. Alright, so some of the traits I got is Midas Touch. Mostly because of how great it is when it comes to martial stewardship, especially the stewardship and learning and fertility. Lustful because of the fertility. Patient because of everything, including the defense. Defense plus 20% is awesome. Content mostly because of age, and patient as well as for the age of it decreases the age by 1, which is great. And then cynical because of the age. Intrigue wasn't so much because it kind of knocks out or the content. So intrigue is only increased by 1 considering of what content is. And then also everything is nullified as far as the intrigue bonus from the cynical because of trusting, it decreases the intrigue by 2. But increases diplomacy by 1, and the wounded because it decreases the age. And so these are mostly because of the age decreases. Alright, so I want to try to save up if I can. I'm sure I'll get invaded, attacked soon by some unknown Viking. I'm sure it's going to happen soon. I can already see it coming. I can see it miles away. Let's see. Is that a good thing to go after you? Yeah. Okay. And then also I have what? Oh, by the way, I can only levy like 748 people. So yeah, it's gonna be a challenge because if I think I showed Wessex. Let me show you if I didn't. So 3,000, yeah. So yeah, I'm in for a challenge. But thankfully, because we're both Catholic, it helps, kind of. Not really. The step diplomacy does, though. But because I'm not an infidel, it's a bonus. Okay, so I'm scarred, which is great. Now it gives me prestige, which, you know, who doesn't like prestige? Okay, so not sure what I should go for as far as buildings go in the short term. I'm thinking military. I mean, because everybody around me has a strong military, or at least a stronger military than I do, I think military would be the important thing to go for. I can't do retinues because I'm not a republic. Should be interesting. I'm thinking about increasing the... I could go for harsh feudal tax. Actually, I don't have any feudals, lord, because I own both castles. So I'm not sure if that will be affected either. I should have tested that out when I had the chance. I don't think that it's affected though, because I don't have any vassals of feudal level. Probably should. But ultimately, I don't want to increase taxes because that's going to piss off a lot of people too. And because of my cultural differences, I really want to push that over the limit. Okay, so a large caravan from distant lands arrived at the gates of your stronghold. Their leader, a jovial man of massive girth, pleads with you in a strange accent to grant them shelter from the elements of the night. So, very well, we'll let them in. As the evening falls, the fat merchant sits by the fire and regales you and the rest of the court with stories of his travels. His appetite seems insatiable. but as you do not wish to... see, I hate when I'm stopping mid-sentence. But as you do not wish to prove a poor host... oh man. Bad. I'm sure a lot of you are face palming by now. You order your servants to bring in the second serving. So yeah, bring them a second serving. Apparently one of the courtiers has been annoying my wife. Man, really? And instead of asking me for help, she took matters in her own hands. She made sure the courtier would never annoy her again, or he'd known the consequences. Who is... oh, really? Really? Did you really have to piss him off? Oh man. I don't want to piss off my wife either though. She did the right thing. Okay, the dawn breaks, the caravan prepares to move on. The merchant insists on leaving you a gift as thanks for your great hospitality. He shouts Tyr's command in a foreign language, and the young man comes forward. This eunuch will serve you well. The merchant says his loyalty to you, his new master, shall be beyond reproach. So we get Michael. Yay, Michael. So Michael is an eunuch, which means he cannot give babies. So no babies for you. He is 11, which actually would be probably beneficial for you to be there. And he's Greek too, which is awesome. He's a Greek Catholic. What better way to reunite the Roman Empire? Or have a Roman related kind of ish. That isn't really related, but kind of is in some way. In your court. Alright, so nice to know we got a Greek chancellor. I'm sure a lot of people will be just happy that I had that happen. Oh, he's ambitious too. Ouch. That's not good. He's an ambitious marshal, and he's got a strong claim on me. That is not good. That is certainly that is something I wanted to avoid. Hopefully I can knock off. He doesn't have a claim, but technically he was the previous ruler. Oh yay, my wife is pregnant. Sweet. You know what? No, go away. I'll take the hit. I'm not going to get involved in a civil war. And technically, Brittany isn't really part of their civil war, though. So, yeah. Ah, they're getting ready to, or they're hostility, huh? Ah, okay. Interesting. And look at that, Italy. Huh, interesting. And I keep repeating myself in a very short span. So they got Verona. Cool. Alright, so hopefully we can get some kind of claim on Ormond there. So I can actually send out some troops and have it secured. Okay, so we got a Dalcher. Marina, okay, I guess Marina works. Yeah, that works. So she's gonna be, so she's technically the current heir to the throne. Oh man. Okay, so my cynical comments have made people look at things my way. I've created more cynics. Yay! A famous writer proposes to compose your family chronicles. Really? Could take the proud, I could take the humble. Do I need a piety? Getting piety as is. I don't want the prestige. I definitely want the prestige. Just give me the prestige. Yay! Sweet, so he's proud. Which, of course, is a sin. But that's okay. See, one prestige. Yay. Alright, so hopefully we'll get some kind of claim on Ormond. That would be awesome. And oh, and yes, an Ormond is a kind of a republic. The reason it is a republic is I forgot to change it because I was kind of modding. I was just playing around with the with CK2 back when the Republic DLC was released, and when I picked it up, I was kind of I was intrigued by the different republics, like Venice and Genoa and things like that, and I figured, you know what, there's really no republics up here around Ireland, so let's create a kind of a small Irish republic. And yeah, I just forgot to change it back. So that's why it's a republic. So you're Breton, you're Catholic. Oh, that's right, you're my current one at St. Germain's. Okay, Breton, you're Catholic. But you got 9. You go. Oh, this is for spy master. So you got 16. You got 12. All right, you can be my new spy master. That I can do. Okay. Oh, so it looks like I got about a minute left. Let's do some scheming. All right. So, oh, that's right. The reason I moved the capital to Devon, as I was trying to mention, I said I'll tell you guys later, but let's do it now. The reason I moved it to Devon is because of the cultural differences between Devon and Cornwall as far as Roman culture goes. Now, from what I've read, and please someone correct me, and correct me for a lot of the things I've said in this video, Cornwall wasn't really Romanized to a large extent as a lot of the other areas in Britain was. As far as I remember, the Roman spread of their culture, as far as buildings and things of that things goes, Exeter was kind of the limit in which the Romans extended. I'm sure there was some Roman buildings in Cornwall and some Roman things in Cornwall in general, but as far as I know, it was a very minute situation there. So there wasn't much going on in Cornwall as far as Roman goes, and I think in Devon it was kind of the major Roman centers compared to Cornwall. So that's why I kind of moved it to move the capital to Devon, just because of that. So, but that'll wrap it up. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I know there wasn't much really to do, and it's going to be a challenge because since my neighbors are all Catholic, with only a couple of Norse on the island itself, and then maybe even some Norse raiders in the future. But I'm certainly hoping that something will come up as far as conflict goes. Do let me know which kind of buildings I should be going for, because like I'm thinking about going for Castle Town now, but it's very expensive. So I'm curious if I should be saving up and then just kind of prepare, kind of plan out like attacks or things like that. So let me know in the comments and of that, and anything else relating to the content of this video. I know it's been a while since I've done a video as far as Paradox Interactive goes, so hopefully I can get back into the groove of things in part 2 and beyond that. And hopefully I can focus more and not go off into some kind of ADHD kind of tangent. So let me know everything, comments, be very helpful, especially historical content. Anything I should have corrected, I've said wrong. Be polite, please. And I will see you guys later, and I hope you guys